What is up, guys? Welcome back to yet another brand new Major Ben Gaming video, and today we're going to be talking a bit more about the Microsoft and Activision Blizzard King deal. This is referring to Microsoft says it's actually offering Sony a 10-year deal to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation, but Jim Ryan just doesn't want to hear it. He is not wanting any of this to go ahead at all, and he is crying and bitching away like he has done in the past. It's pretty funny to watch, not gonna lie, but we're gonna read from this article here because, man, this is just hilarious. So let's go over this. Back in January, Microsoft obviously acquired Activision Blizzard deal. This was the 50 billion pound or 68 billion US dollar deal, and this move has faced drastic criticism, particularly from Sony, with numerous regulatory bodies as well voicing their concern in terms of the future of Call of Duty. So Sony has said over in summer, that Xbox ownership of Call of Duty could lead to gamers switching consoles. COD is so ingrained that even if a competitor had the budget to develop a similar product, it wouldn't be able to compete. However, Microsoft has made it clear at the beginning of 2022 that it intends to keep the long-running franchise on PlayStation and available across different platforms. Earlier this month, Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer reiterated that it is more focused on mobile rather than Call of Duty following the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. The idea that Activision is all about Call of Duty on console is a construct that might get created by our console competitor, he said. It came after Spencer said that Microsoft intend to keep releasing Call of Duty on Sony's consoles as long as there is a PlayStation out there to ship to. We're not taking Call of Duty from PlayStation. That's not our intent, he explained. Our intent is not to do that, and as long as there's a PlayStation out there to ship to, our intent is that we'll continue to ship Call of Duty on PlayStation, similar to what we've done with Minecraft since we owned that. Speaking in a recent interview with the New York Times, Microsoft revealed further details of its latest offer to Sony, saying that it proposed a 10-year deal to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation on November 11th. Overall, 16 regulatory bodies globally have launched investigations into Microsoft's proposed takeover of Activision Blizzard King in order to access its likely impact on competition. So in September, Sony claimed that giving Microsoft control over major Activision Blizzard titles like COD would have a major negative impactions for gamers and the future of the gaming industry. Sony Interactive Entertainment President and CEO Jim Ryan was reported to have traveled to Brussels to meet EU regulators and appeal Microsoft's deal in person. During the conversation with the NYT, however, Microsoft accused Sony of misleading regulators, and Jim Ryan has denied this claim. Sony has overstated the importance of Call of Duty to its viability, Microsoft said in the piece. In response, Ryan told the publication that this was not true, adding Microsoft is a tech giant with a long history of dominating industries. It is highly likely that the choices gamers have today will disappear if this deal goes ahead. So that's some pretty dramatic stuff going on here. It's so funny to see these guys going at it. And in the end of the day, in my personal opinion, I seriously think this deal is going to go through. This deal is something that is going to be extremely hard for Sony to stop. Sony has so much against them here. You got to think about it. The amount of stuff that they are paying still now, like exclusive quests coming up in Hogwarts Legacy, Final Fantasy. One of them, I can't remember which one it is anymore, never came to Xbox, even though it was meant to be a year timed exclusive on Sony. Still hasn't come to Xbox. Spider-Man is being, a franchise that's owned by Sony. They have always done the same thing, and I don't see why it's so bad that Microsoft is now doing something back. And the funny thing is, a lot of you Sony guys criticized and drilled into all the Xbox fans and Microsoft themselves, saying they've got no games. And now they're doing things, they're buying games, they're buying up companies to make fantastic games for their platform, and they're still complaining. And it's just like, you can't win against these pathetic Sony fanboys. You really can't. You never can, because they're a different breed of stupid, quite honestly. It's funny to watch. But I mean, I own a PlayStation myself. I use both. I prefer my Xbox with all my third party games. I multi-plat games. I always play on Xbox, but I'm playing God of War right now. That's the game I've been playing recently, and I'm really really enjoying it. It's not my favorite game in the world, but it is a very very good game. I love my PlayStation, but at the same time, this deal is just funny. The amount of stuff Sony has bought and done in the past, and now Microsoft's doing a similar thing to what they've done, and they're even promising that the exclusive, that it's not going to be exclusive to Xbox. Even 10 years into this deal, they're saying it's not going to change. Like, this is, they have to put times on things. That's what a lot of people don't understand. They can't just go, they can't just say, oh, we'll never do this. They have to put a time on something. That's just how these sorts of things work. So whether it's 5 years, 6 years, they're just putting the time on that because they have to put a date on this stuff. They just have to. So 10 years is a very, very good promise. Nothing's going to change for 10 years. Like, console gaming in 10 years' time is probably going to be entirely different. We probably aren't going to have physical consoles anymore. We're probably all going to be streaming through the cloud. No one's going to want to play Call of Duty that way because you need instant reaction times. You have to for those games. Best place to play Call of Duty is always on PC, and it always will be. Like, it's just not going to change that soon. Like, you're not going to be able to get instant controller to screen back to controller times playing Call of Duty. It just won't work that fast. It never will through streaming. So that's something that's going to change. But the point is, it's so funny how they're so focused on Call of Duty when they've just bought a company that makes Destiny, a great shooting game. Destiny has been a very popular. Both games have done very, very well. Make some competition, man. Like, what are you doing? Rather than bitching and complaining all the time, go out there, talk to your studio that you've just purchased, by the way, and have the rights to now. Get them to start working on a new game, maybe a competitive shooter rather than a story-based MMO-style shooter. Go that route. If that's what you want, compete. Make something that is a better product than Call of Duty. Yes, it's going to be hard, but Call of Duty came about one day and it picked up momentum. So you've got to do similar things. You're constantly buying up studios, buying exclusive rights, buying certain quests on games like Hogwarts Legacy. Just stop, man. Just go away. Like, just actually go away. It's so annoying. And you're still getting Call of Duty, yet you can't stand that another company is succeeding. Like, you should want competition. It's important for both sides to success. Microsoft has done a terrible job at last generation, and they're finally picking themselves up. They're finally doing things for the fans, and as a business too, obviously. We have to look at that. That's the main reason they exist in the end of the day. You guys have got to do stuff. You've been repeating the same crappy success you've done for the last 10 years. You've been doing, oh, let's do another God of War. Oh, let's do a second Last of Us since the momentum's dying on all the other games. Let's do another Uncharted game. Oh, another Ratchet and Clank game. That'll be fun. Like, do something new. I know you've got stuff like Wolverine coming out. I know that's new, but it's still very similar, as Insomniac said themselves. The character is very similar to Spider-Man. It didn't take much work for them to think, oh, well, let's do Wolverine. Like, they said that in an article. I've got a video on it on my channel. You guys can watch it. But the point is, Sony need to do something new. They need to start driving things forward for themselves rather than complaining about everyone else. Like, they've been doing the same thing for years. It's no different than Microsoft's doing it. It's not like they're promising that they're never going to have it on PlayStation. They are. Funny how PlayStation aren't worried about anything else. They're not talking about, oh, Diablo, that might be exclusive to Xbox now. Probably will be. I think the Call of Duty will be the only one that stays on PlayStation. I can't imagine they'll be bringing Diablo forever to PlayStation, but they're not focused on that. It's just the fact that, as per usual, it shows that Call of Duty is PlayStation's biggest earner too. And maybe they shouldn't have put so many eggs in that basket, relying on so much money from their 30% take on every game that they sell through their store, that that they need to rely on Call of Duty so heavily. That's their problem, that they didn't sort that out early enough. That's it for me, guys. That's my opinions. Let me know what you think down below. We don't always have to agree, but I just like giving my opinions. And if people disagree, that's fine. Don't do it rudely, otherwise I just won't bother replying, because it's just, you're not going to get anything out of that. I just block you and delete the comment. Reply sensibly, and we can have a conversation and a dialogue, and we can understand each other's points, rather than people saying, oh, you're just wrong because you're a Xbox fanboy. Like, it's just stupid. I've clearly got a PlayStation behind me. Right there, just for people who actually need to see it to believe it and think that this isn't just an image or something. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching, guys. Appreciate it. See you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.